Thank you guys all for joining. I am so excited. We are going to go all in on marketing. I'm going to teach you guys everything I know. I'm going to take as much of what's in my brain, all the knowledge, and share with you guys to empower you guys, whether you're the business owner, whether you're leading a sales team, a marketing team, no matter what part of the company you're in, I'm going to teach you how to absolutely dominate marketing with our Contractors Marketing Playbook. What do you guys want to learn most about today? Comment what you guys want to learn most about today so I can incorporate it. This will be very interactive. So I have a whole agenda for you guys, everything you need to know about marketing, an entire playbook. But if there's any specifics you guys want to know, now's a great time to drop them in the chat so I can incorporate them throughout the webinar today. Trinity Roofing, social media lead generation. Perfect. Okay, we're going to touch on lead generation for social media throughout the presentation. Google, we're going to touch on Google. We're going to touch on actually Google Business Profile, SEO. Nancy will be touching on SEO. I got some good checklists and do's and don'ts for you on SEO. Marketing partnerships, we're going to talk about that and what you need to look for. Local service ads. Ricardo wants to know more about Thumbtack. Okay, we'll see what we can do about Thumbtack, answer your questions. Facebook marketing. Best way to post videos to Google reviews. Google seems to take them down. Dan wants to know. Autumn, let's see something we've never seen before. New tips and tricks. Okay, I like that. We'll start with some basics, and then as the webinar goes on, I'll share some tips, tricks, and things that you've never seen before or haven't thought about that you can use for your marketing. Lewis, Facebook and paid ads. We will definitely be talking about Facebook and paid ads. That's a foundational item here. Ricardo, door knocking. We're going to do both. We're going to talk about door knocking and digital door knocking. There's no reason your customers should not know who you are by the end of this webinar. You're going to know everything. You're going to have all the tools you need for success. Dylan, brand awareness. Love it. Yes, brand awareness. And we've been changing the word brand awareness to brand dominance, right? Brand awareness isn't enough anymore. We need to dominate. We need your brand to have dominance in your market. So we're going to talk about it all. All right, so let's jump right in, guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Ariel Cohen. I'm the CMO here at Business 411 and Marketing 411. I've had the pleasure of partnering with Elizabeth Calzadia, who most of you already know. She has just been able to establish such an impact in the roofing industry. And, I've been behind the scenes helping the company grow and helping deliver to you guys. So I'm really just ecstatic to be able to continue to deliver the marketing education side of things and really follow in the footsteps that Business 411 has laid out to help educate contractors to be the best you could be. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you guys win. That's why I'm here, and that's what I love to do. That's how I impact the communities around me. But I want to shout out Liz. If any of you know her, drop a comment in the chat if you know who Liz is. She has provided a ton of content and educational value. We teach roofing companies. Actually, next week in Fort Lauderdale, we have a class called our 411 Roofing Systems, where we teach roofing companies step by step the exact playbook to grow their revenue and their organization. But about me, guys, so I partnered with Liz in 2021 to start the marketing side of our company. I've been marketing way long before the roofing industry. I started in about 2012. I had an internship in 2010 studying SEO way back then, and I've followed through all the way to now. So I've seen trends come and go. Here in the industry. Funny enough, I started off in the music industry, and I gotta say, roofing industry is way better than the music industry. I don't care what you say. You probably may think I'm crazy, but I absolutely love the roofing industry and home service in general because it just provides so much opportunity. You can change people's lives, okay, in the home service industry, not just as the business owner, but empowering your team and the community around you. And that's really what I love about it. I've been fortunate enough to work on tons of different marketing campaigns. I've managed millions of dollars in advertising, and I've learned a lot of lessons throughout that process that I'm going to share with you. We've been able to grow Business 411 to help contractors. We grew from just 3 people when we first started in 2021 on the agency side. And now we work with over 1,000 roofing companies in just less than 2 years. So I'm really proud of the thousands of roofing companies we've been able to help impact, whether it's through branding, whether it's through our SOPs or our marketing. That's been our biggest win. And I've also had some fun. I've actually competed in business competitions before. I won first place in the Women's Miami Business Venture Competition. I've pitched to VC venture capitalists. So anyone who's looking to, scale their roofing company to someday grow it. I know marketing strategies that help align there and what those type of individuals want to see. I've pitched to them directly. And our agency, I'm super proud, was awarded for a top marketing agency in this past year in 2024 by Seven Figure Agency, which is a group of agency owners. So anyways, enough about me. I want to get into the good stuff here about what we're going to talk about today. So for any of you who know Business 411 and my business partner, Elizabeth, you know that we love education. And one of our standout products is our manuals. We have roofing manuals, residential, insurance, commercial, which I'm not going to touch on today. But what we felt was there was a huge gap we knew from the thousands of customers we have when it comes to marketing. And we wanted to make sure that that gap is filled. So we created the Contractors Marketing Playbook. And I'm going to talk more about what's inside of this playbook. And I'm going to be teaching you guys about it today. By the way, if you have one of our manuals, I want to see if anyone here has our manuals already. Even if you just have one or you've seen them, drop a comment. Yeah, drop a comment if you have a manual or if you've seen them. Mark, you don't have one but like to get one. We can make that happen for you. We can get you hooked up with some manuals. So what is the Contractors Marketing Playbook? Let's dive in here. So the focus of this manual is really designed to help contractors understand cost-effective ways to promote their business and be able to attract new customers. That's why we're all here, right? We want to know how we can dominate and how we can grow. Well, throughout this manual, we're going to touch base basically on all the strategies with practical tips that you need to know. So whether you're a newcomer or whether you're a seasoned professional in the industry, these are going to be all the foundational new tricks and tips and foundational items that you need to know. And we're going to provide actionable how-tos. So if anyone's ever seen any of our other manuals, you know how detailed they are, how we go through step by step. There's really no questions. You could pass it off to a team member or yourself. You can use it to really grasp an understanding. This is what we did with this Contractors Marketing Playbook. It's super cool because I want to really empower you to be confident about applying these marketing principles to achieving your goals. So whether you're doing the marketing as the business owner, whether you're on the marketing team, or whether you're managing or partnering with someone, you at least need to understand the basics. You need to understand the basics. Oh, I love seeing these comments. So we have a ton of people. Antoine has about 5 of them. I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm just speeding through. There's so many comments. We have a couple people interested. I have the insurance manual. It's great. You've seen them. You want one? I have one manual. Awesome. So I'm really happy to see a lot of people actually haven't seen our manuals. So we're going to dive into some of that. You're going to see what some of the content in the inside of the manuals looks like today. So let's jump into the introduction here of what you guys need to know for marketing. So I want to start with the issues, right? Because without having the problems and the issues laid out, we can't provide solutions. And so our goal is to give you the knowledge to overcome these industry problems. I hear it all the time. So we speak to contractors every single day. Every single day we speak to contractors. And honestly, I hear the same stories. I hear the same situations, and it's all laid out here for you, okay? The number one industry issue is the strategy itself. A lot of business owners, contractors, they're not properly informed about the best marketing strategies for targeting homeowners or property owners in general. Okay, there's it's a crowded space. There's a ton of websites out there catering to homeowners, and you need to make sure you stand out. In your market, you're not sure what sources are the best fit for your business model. There's so many things grabbing at our attention. You're just not sure which way to go. So I want to outline the marketing strategy with you. Marketing partnerships. A lot of contractors do not know what to look for, when to hire, who to hire, what kind of marketing company or person to work with, and what to expect from them. That's one of the biggest downsides of marketing is the confusion. Okay. If you don't know what information to be looking for, you will not have a successful marketing partnership. So I'm going to go ahead and help you lay out exactly what you need to look for here so you have a great investment in your company and it's not wasted on the wrong partnerships. All right, utilizing free tools. We're going to talk about the free ways to do marketing, not just paid, but I always like to talk about taking advantage of free ways you can improve your marketing. While there are great ways you can really go full throttle and grow your company through paid advertising, there's also free ways you can leverage and different platforms you could leverage. A couple people asked, when I asked what you want to learn today, a couple people asked about social media. So we're going to touch on that and some of the free things you can do to expose your brand to more people and generate more business. At the end of the day, guys, marketing is an investment. Okay, so Jason just put free. That's my favorite price. Listen, I agree, but I understand the value of an investment and an ROI because you have to choose. Okay, free is great, especially if you're starting out, but you're going to be using your time. And time is money to me, especially if I'm the owner of the company. So you want to make sure you put the right people in the right place to do the right things. You don't want to be as an owner doing I don't want to say a low ticket task, but something that's not worth the value of your time. Okay, so it's a time and money exchange. But we will talk about things you could do just using your time to grow the business and then things you could use to use actual investment and paid advertising. So I want to break down, I actually want to start this webinar off by talking about goals because marketing is an investment. So I want to talk about the 5 ways you can maximize your marketing efforts. So going into this, okay, I'm going to lay out the things you want to understand. And you could take a photo of this. You can screenshot it, take a photo of it because I want you to remember this. This is how you're going to plan all of your marketing efforts. Number 1, you're going to know your target market. Now you may think, oh, I've been living in, Fort Lauderdale, Florida for my whole life, 20 years. I know my market, but do you really? So we're going to dive into what I mean by that, and I'm going to show you how you can get the actual demographic information you need to know to understand and help gear your marketing strategy in that direction. Then we're going to identify your competition. Right? How many times do I talk to contractors and they say, well, so-and-so is my friend, they're in my market and they're doing this, this, and this, or, oh yeah, this is the company I want to be positioned like. They've been around for XYZ years, and I want to be like them, right? But what have you actually done to benchmark what they're doing? It's very simple. I could take the top 3, the top 10 players at anyone's market on this call today and tell you exactly what they're doing and what you need to do better. So identifying your competition is not just knowing who they are, but actually analyzing what they're doing, what things they're doing right. And it's usually pretty easy to tell what type of digital marketing they're doing on Google and on social media and how you can do it better. Then we're going to go into defining your goals. So now you understand your demographic, you understand what your competitors are doing. Now we want to understand what your actual goals are. Okay, we're going to break down your revenue goals and what ability you have as a company to grow. And you should have a basic idea of how many leads your company needs to get those goals each week. So we're going to talk about how many leads you need to get to hit your goals. And then we're going to follow the effective strategies, right? We're going to talk about some new things you can do, but you do not need to reinvent the wheel. Okay, you need to make sure you have the basics covered. There are things that work, that have worked, that are proven strategies that still are working in today's market and going into 2025. I think learning the basics is one of the major advertising strategies that you can do that most people miss. It's usually the simple things that people miss. So we want to make sure that's all taken care of. And then last but not least, we want to measure and review results. Okay, if anyone here invests, like if you invest in stocks, if you invest in real estate, it doesn't matter what it is. If you have personal or business investments, you always are measuring the success, right? How much money did I make this year? How much did I hopefully not lose, right? But how much did I lose? How much did I make? Is this going in the direction that I expected? It's important you measure and review results. And I'm going to actually go through in this webinar what I want you to be tracking and monitoring daily, weekly, and monthly for your business to make sure your marketing's on point and you're hitting those goals that you have. Because good leads at this point in time, they can cost money, especially if it's a high ticket trade. Google and online is getting very competitive. So I want to make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck and you're getting an ROI and at least understanding how to measure the results of your advertising and making sure your team's making the most of every opportunity you have. I'll tell you this right now. One of the biggest things, so we track every call, which I'll talk about, and I get to hear the customers calling in. And I can't tell you the amount of people that don't answer the phone, or they answer the phone, but they didn't put enough training into the person answering the phone. And that person sounds confused, not confident, lacks tonality, right? They don't not sound like confident. They do not sound like someone who knows roofing. They do not sound like someone who knows roofing. And they kind of fumble these appointments. You just work so hard on this marketing strategy to drive leads and drive phone calls. And then you get the phone call and you fumble the ball. And I see that all the time. I see that all the time. So I want to know, do you answer 100% of your business calls? Who feels confident? Drop it in the chat. Put 100 if you feel that you answer 100% of your business calls, or put another number leading up to 100. Dan, we do have some training on incoming calls and how to handle that. David answers 90% of the calls. Number 19014 answers 80%. Nancy answers 90%. Lewis feels confident. He's like, I got 100% of the calls answered. Haley, 99%. Okay. I will take 99%. This is awesome. You miss very few calls. Thornton, 98%. Super important when there's competition. Diego, 60%. We need to work on that. Misty, 90%. You're getting close, but we need to get it up higher. That 10% is 10% of missed opportunities. Jose, we get 1,000 scams daily. It's annoying and difficult. We have some strategies there to help you. You could block those calls, or you could outsource your answering so it's not wasting someone's time in office, or you could block those numbers. Polly, 80 to 90% of them are spam. Dan, admins get most, I'd say 95%. Kevin, our girl Allison answers 100% of our calls because we didn't lie on our Google business hours. Shout out Allison for answering 100% of the calls. Everybody needs an Allison on their team. I just want to touch on that. Google business hours are important. Do not put you're open 24 hours if you are not. If you are not, especially if the line's going to your phone. All right, so we got a good range here. I'm glad to see some people, everyone, a lot of people answering their calls. Some, at least now you're aware you need to improve upon it. David, I need an Allison. We all need an Allison. I have an Allison, but I'll take more. Good customer service people are important. All right, so we're going to talk about the actual 5 steps I just laid out for you. If you have your phone, if you're on your computer, take a screenshot of this slide and the next 5 slides, because we're going to walk through this, and then I want you to actually fill it out after this webinar today. So knowing your market. I talked about what is the home ownership rate in your target market. Okay, what is the homeowner rate in your target market? Now, we have some softwares we use to pull this type of data, but what I recommend is using ChatGPT and asking this question. So what is the homeownership rate in? And then you'd put your area, your city, for example, and see what information ChatGPT can give you. It's usually 90% accurate, and it will tell you the source where it pulled that information from, but that will give you some idea of the home ownership rate, especially if you're focused on residential. All right. Also, Kelly put in the chat, if you send your market, we're going to pick one person to pull this info for you. We're going to do it for you. So send your market. She's going to pick somebody. We're going to do this for you. Next is you want to know what the average age of homeowners in your market and what other demographics stand out. This is really important because this is how we're going to form what our communication methods are. So what our actual content, who it speaks to, we're going to switch our messaging, and it will also change what platforms we're going to use to reach them. So if the average age of homeowners is a little higher, we're going to use more Google and other traditional methods. If we see the average age of homeownership is lower, we could also incorporate more Facebook and other markets that have that type of demographic. Okay. All right. The other thing you want to ask is, what's the average home value? What's the average home value? And you could break this down by city, you could break it down by zip code, or you could break it down as well. You can go really high level and break it down by state. If you're operating statewide, you could kind of understand each of the different demographics and territories within your operations. And then who are the largest employers in your target market? Who are the largest employers? So what I want you to do is, we're going to do this for one person right now, but what I want you to do is actually take a picture or copy these 4 questions. And after this, you could put this into ChatGPT so it can output this information for you, and you'll be able to get an idea of this information.
Hey, Ariel, Kelly here. So I just pulled a report for Kayla in Marion, Iowa. She was the first one to respond, and it's really great. So when I looked up Marion, Iowa, which is where she's at, the average homeownership rate is actually 78.3%, which is really above average. The US average is 64%. So there's a very high rate of ownership there, which means even more people to do business with, especially if you're doing a door knocking strategy. The average age of the population of the homeowner population is 39.2 years. So that's good. It's a little bit older. I think that's around the average, but it does also tell us that the main demographics, a significant portion of homeowners fall into the 40 to 64 age group. That's going to be really important for marketing to know, okay, if that's my main age group and who I want to target, what are the types of marketing strategies that are going to actually hit that age group? You know, maybe Facebook's going to work really well for that. Maybe Google search is going to work really well for that. If it was steering more younger, I would even say social media would be a stronger thing, but I'll have Ariel go into that more. Also, we're able to pull the average home value. It's about $216,000 for homes with a mortgage there. What's really great to know about that is it helps you with pricing accurately to your market. We've seen so many times that people are either over or undercharging based off what the average home value is, and they're not really hitting their market in the best way. So that's going to help you with understanding how much each job is going to, be worth to you. What should your budget be based off of, the amount of leads that you're coming in for that average value. Tons of great information is going to help you build your marketing strategy off of these numbers. Back to you, Ariel.
Awesome. Okay, that was really, really insightful. Polly asked, where are you pulling this info from? So there's various ways you can get homeowner information and just target market information. But I recommend, as a baseline, what everyone could do is use ChatGPT and enter these exact questions with your market information, and you should get a pretty good output. And idea. So luckily, AI has done some of the homework for us. These are things we used to have to manually look up and research. And with ChatGPT and AI tools, we've been able to pull this information faster. Kelly actually used ChatGPT for the speed on this call. And then usually what she'll do and what we'll do for any of our clients is we'll do more of a deep dive to solidify the information and pull them from different data websites to make sure they're completely accurate. So this is really awesome to know, Kelly. Thank you for sharing that. So knowing your target market, if everyone has this taken care of, I'm going to go to number 2. If everyone has this screenshotted here, we're going to go to the second part of maximizing your marketing, which is identifying your competition. So identifying your competition. How many competitor companies operate in your target market? Who are you actually competing with? Yes, you know some of the big names or some of the common names, but how many people are actually operating in your market? That's what we want to know. Which we could pull that information for you as well. We're going to have the opportunity where you could book a call to ask us very specific questions, and we'll pull that information for you or answer any questions you have regarding this personally. So we also want to know which companies are your greatest competition. This is based off size and offerings. This is based off size and offerings. So maybe there's someone who are at a comparable rate to you, operating in the same areas with the same services, or they're doing a little bit higher revenue than you, right? And you're looking to get to that next level. To stay, you don't want to stay stagnant. And so in order to not stay stagnant, you don't just need to look at who's directly competing with you, but who are the actual leaders in your area? Who are the actual leaders in your area? Because those are the people we want to understand what they're doing and benchmark from them so you can level up your marketing game. We could also see what they're offering. Okay, so what marketing strategies are they taking advantage of? For those of you who don't know, you could literally go to Facebook right now and type in Google Facebook ads library. Facebook ads library. Kelly, could we do a live example of this really quick? I think this is really important. It's going to give everyone the opportunity to be able to kind of spy on their competitors. So go to Google and just type in
Yeah.
Facebook.
Do you want to do that? I'll stop sharing and then you can pull that up.
Sure. Yeah, let me do this really quickly because I think this is something that some people still don't know about that's really beneficial. So all I did, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys. Okay, let's see. Boom. All right. All I did here was go to Google and type Facebook ads library. When I did that, I'm just going to click on the very first link, and this brings me to the Facebook ads library, where I can go ahead and click all ads in the United States, and I could search for a specific roofing company. Okay, so as you could see here, you could type the specific roofing company name, but I just typed roofing to see what comes up. And let's just say Best Choice Roofing was in my market, and I wanted to see what Best Choice Roofing's doing. All right. When I click that, I could actually see in October what ads this person launched. Okay, what ads this page has ran. I could see the date they started running it. I could see what platforms they're running these ads on, and I could see what creatives they're actually using in the ad. I could play the video. I could see the ad copy. Looks like they're in Georgia. So if I have anyone in Georgia here, maybe Best Choice is on this call, or they're one of your competitors, but you could actually see all the ad types they're running right here. And as I scroll down, I could see more ads. These are ads they launched in September. These are all active. So these are different giveaways they're offering. So I could really gauge what the competitors or what the competition's offering and base some of my offerings around that, what makes sense. Okay, and this company is running a ton of ads here. So advertising, what that tells me is the ads are working for them. They have ads from August that are still active. Okay, they even have ads from July, a giveaway that's still active. What that tells me, look at this, May. This giveaway obviously has been going well because it is still live. So what you'll notice is if you go down to the bottom of the ads library, if you see a ad that's launched a while ago and still live, what that means is it's working. That gives you a hint to which of their ads are actually working. Okay, so this is a great side note, sidebar I wanted to show you guys of how you could leverage that competitor research. All right, Kelly, you could share. David did make a good point. We don't want to copy. We don't copy people's ads. This is just for inspiration. This is just to benchmark what others are doing. Okay, it's to see how, especially if they're spending a lot on advertising and they're a big player, you could just kind of see what the big companies are doing. And there's no way to stop people from seeing your ads. However, you'd be surprised how many contractors, I promise you, if you go ask 10 of your friends who are contractors, I bet you a majority of them don't even know how to do that or that even exists. Okay, that's how, and that's kind of how behind a lot of contractors are who are not educated. So I'm really happy all of you guys are here because you are not going to be one of them. You're going to be someone ahead of the game always. And that's what's really important here. So number 3 is defining your goals. We want to define your goals. Okay, I suggest everyone takes a screenshot of this slide or take a picture of this because what we want to understand, and given this particular slide I've talked about a lot. If you've ever seen me, speak live, you may have seen a slide similar to this because it's so important. Okay, you need to be having these goals and revisiting them. You need to be revisiting them. We're going to do this with one person here. Who wants to volunteer for the lead goals worksheet? We're going to do this live with somebody here right now. All right. Danny was first. I believe. So what we're going to do is we want to understand your yearly revenue goal, and then we're going to understand your closing rate. And from there, we're going to actually define how many leads you need per week to hit that goal. So can we unmute Danny here? Let me see.
Yes, I'll work on that for you right now.
I got it.
I just clicked him to allow to talk.
Danny, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How's it going?
Good, all right.
Good. Where are you based out of, Danny?
Near Houston.
Nice. Okay. Awesome.
Ariel, I have the calculator on my end up for you. So I'll just verbally say it as you guys go in, but just keep asking your questions and I'll fill in the blanks for you.
Perfect. By the way, shout out to Kelly, guys. Kelly really keeps things going behind the scenes. She makes this super easy for us to be able to have this webinar and keep it and give like live data. And so if you don't have an Allison, you need an Allison. But if you don't have a Kelly, she's the COO of our company. You need a Kelly. Kelly holds it down. So, all right, let me jump in, Danny, with you here. So how many leads are you getting right now?
Between 70 and 76 a week.
70 to 76 leads a week. And by the way, because I think that's a good number that people want to know here on this call, like how is he doing it? What are you doing to generate that amount of leads?
So I have 2 lead generation companies that work for me that I've like gone through and vetted the shit out of. That primarily I pay for those, and then the rest is inbound. Like my guys don't knock really, like at all. Like I give every single person in my company. I've got 10 sales guys that work for me. Everybody in my company, I have 2 teams. They're split off, so they work opposite days. So let's just say 5 and 5. Each person on that lead, or each person that day gets 2 or 3 leads, and then the next day off to schedule appointments and everything like that.
Awesome. Okay. So these lead generation companies are providing the appointments for you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And you're located right outside of Houston, someone asked. All right, so let's see how many leads you need to hit this goal, the yearly goal. So what's your revenue goal? You could do it for this year, 2024, or 2025, since we're in Q4. It's up to you.
2025, I'm trying to hit 5 mil.
5 mil. Okay, perfect. 5 million yearly goal.
Awesome. So that would mean your monthly goal is trying to get about $417,000 in new business. And your weekly goal is going to be about $96,000 in new business that you want to be hitting every week to maintain a yearly goal of 5 million.
Okay. And that's pretty basic math, right? A lot of us can do that. But this is where we take it to the next level, Danny. So what's your average ticket right now?
$18,803.
Wow. I love this. He was ready. He was ready for this. He was like, I got my numbers here. You have to know your numbers as a business owner. You really do. If you're leading a team.
Awesome. Right. And then what would you say your closing rate is on a percentage?
My closing rate or my company's?
I would say like probably your sales team average. Yours is probably really high, but we want to go for the average of the team.
Probably, I mean, fuck that. I don't know right now. I'm actually in the process of doing my numbers. I'd say probably around like 35%.
Awesome.
For those of you who don't know your closing rate, 30% is a great baseline. That's kind of the lower end that you want to be at. So you could at least put 30% if you don't know your closing rate right now.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably 35-ish right now.
Okay, great. So we really love using math. The data is not going to lie. So breaking down your numbers, and this is what everyone should be doing with this process. The first thing you want to look at is your yearly goal. So just to recap that, it's $5 million for 2025. Amazing. You're in a great market for that. Your monthly goal, so that goal divided by 12 is going to be 417,000. And then our weekly goal is going to be a little bit over 96,000. So how are we going to achieve that? So with your average ticket of about and 3, that means to hit that weekly goal of 96 and change, you're going to want to be selling at least 5 jobs, preferably in the average of 5 to 6 jobs per week closed at that average ticket. With your average closing rate of 35%, what we're going to do is basically multiply that average sale times 3, because 35 is about a third. That would mean you're going to need a weekly lead goal of about 15 leads. So times that by 4 would be about 60 for your monthly goal. And you said your monthly right now is about 70?
No, my weekly.
Your weekly. Okay, nice. Okay. So if that's the case for you right now, then you're definitely on track to hit those goals. If you're going to be maintaining that average ticket and that closing rate.
Yeah. So I want to just annotate that real quick too. Just so closing ratio compared to leads. There's also qualifying factors upon once we go to leads. Like, well, for instance, I may pay, let's say I get 5 leads. I go out and 2 of them were shit, didn't want the inspections. Well, I get credited to those leads back. So my lead count goes up. But let's say another 2 of those people don't qualify. Those people that don't qualify are people like there's certain indicators that we have that we actually track. It's like the disqualifications of it is one thing, but not attending, leads that aren't even set, we don't count those. That's why the closing ratio compared to the number is very different.
Yeah, for sure. When we're talking about the lead goal, we're definitely like that 15 number I'm referring to is like definitely qualified. That's why it's important to have even more of a buffer on your lead goal, because there's going to be, some junk leads. There are going to be people that are not ready to buy yet. They're going to have a longer closing cycle. So it's always good to give yourself a little bit of, like, I like to call it a waste factor on your lead goal as well, just to account for things like that as well.
Yeah, so awesome. And hey, Danny, thank you so much for sharing and being transparent. I know it helps a lot of other people in this call on this call right now to give that real data. So thank you so much for being open and honest sharing.
Is it okay if I give my company name just in case anybody else wants to reach out to me after this? I don't want to take up your guys' time at all.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. We're gonna keep going through, and if anyone wants to connect with you, because we love people connecting, just drop your info in the chat so people can connect. All right. All right, awesome. Thanks, Danny. So I want to keep going through here because we have a lot of great content. If we go to the next slide, you could take photos of this slide as well. This is just some samples, right? So Danny was saying that he wants to hit the 5 million mark goal, and he's doing a great job at generating leads. I want to give one piece of advice here. A lot of people spend most of their marketing efforts on new leads, which is very important. But what happens is there's a fall off on existing leads. So make sure I can't tell you how many companies, even ourselves, we actually just did a Q4 review and we have 2,000 opportunities of existing customers to sell to before the end of the year. So I want to make sure that you guys, don't just generate new leads with your marketing. That's very important, but also generating follow-up and nurturing with the existing, especially for a Q4 sprint. I don't know about you guys, but I'm trying to get a lot of revenue in the door before end of Q4. And the best way you're going to do it is not just new people, but is actually through existing, whether it's cross-selling, upselling, or reselling, or bids that didn't go through. So let's keep going. I have a lot of content. We haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes of this. We haven't even gotten to like the really good stuff here. So this is the number 4, which is just following effective strategies. We talked about the competitors. I showed you Facebook, how you could see exactly what your competitors are doing. But now I want you guys to also just note what strategies have worked well for the company in the past. And which one of these strategies are you utilizing? Okay, everyone here obviously has client referrals. From there, we have, PPC we're going to talk about, retargeting we're going to talk about, door-to-door, social media. Local streaming is something newer that's on the rise that you should be looking into and leveraging depending on the size of your company. So let's keep going through because I want to actually dive into these strategies for you here. Somebody asked what number 3 was. It was defining your goals. Number 3 is defining your goals. All right, so next, last but not least, is going to be results, reviewing your results, especially if you're someone like Danny who's getting a ton of leads in. It can get really crazy really quickly. You want to actually know some of the data, what's working, what's not. What is your average cost per lead? That's something you want to know. What's your average cost per lead overall? And then by source, right? So what's your overall cost per lead as a company? But then how much is your cost per lead on Facebook, on Google, on LSA, through SEO? How much is that? We want to be able to track your average cost per lead. The next thing we want to know is how often do you receive monthly marketing reports from your marketing department, your marketing partner? What trends are they noticing and how are they reporting that to you? And then we also want to know, you also want to know what is your closing rate for paid leads? Okay. Referrals are always going to be a different closing rate than actual paid leads or leads from marketing. Okay, so your closing ratio is going to differ. So we want to know what it is for paid leads because that's where a big improvement can usually happen. So let's keep going through here. I want to kind of dive into some more of what you guys need to know for your marketing.
Yeah, Ariel, I thought it would be good, just based off the call that we had coming in, from Danny, learning a little bit about what he was doing, is maybe just giving some people just a brief overview on some of the results we've seen with LSA and how valuable that can be. So I actually put in a case study of one of our clients that we can take a quick look at. Oop, give me 1 second. Let me make sure that that is showing
That's
up
all.
here. But yeah, in the meantime, why don't you discuss a little bit about LSA, and then I'll pull up that for you.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's cool. She's going to give you a real case study so you could see some average cost per leads we're seeing. We pretty much advertise in every single state right now except for Hawaii. So we got some really great numbers. Now, it can vary based on where you are located. This is very important. There's a lot of things that can vary with your cost per lead. As you could see here from just one of our Google accounts here, this is a Google Ads account. You could see how many clicks they got, how many conversions they had, and the cost per conversion. And then also the total cost spent. So you could see the cost per conversion here in the red is $141. $141. And we've seen this be lower, and we've seen this go up as well, depending again on the actual account itself and the location.
Yeah, LSA is super valuable. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into it later in the presentation. But, when we're talking about that waste factor when it comes to your lead goals and stuff, what's great about LSA is if you do get those junk leads, those spam leads, those people trying to find Home Depot that end up calling you, you're able to dispute that with Google and say like, hey, this person wasn't actually looking for me. Google guarantees you leads with LSA, and it guarantees you the qualified ones. So that's a really great feature to keep your cost per conversion low and make sure that all 64 of those conversions, like for this customer, are only the most qualified ones that can actually lead to an appointment.
Awesome. I love that. All right. So let's keep going through here. So let's talk about some of the marketing foundational items that you need to know. Okay. We're going to talk about the foundations to make sure you have everything in place. These small things are big things that add up, right? They become big as they add up. So let's go through and jump into this section. Something that's really important. I just want to answer one question here. Kayla asked, our company got viral on TikTok. Okay, that's super awesome. But now it is hard to separate real leads and things such as Google results / social media as people who are just searching us up because of TikTok. How can we separate this in our true marketing results? Okay, if your goal is actual booked appointments, it should be very easy to track. You want to make sure that you have set tracking on everything, including your TikTok. So your TikTok should go to a landing page than your Google, than your Facebook. Everything should go to set tracking metrics so you could see who's coming from what source and how many of those people are actually converting to booked appointments. On top of that, you could add qualifiers. Qualifiers, things like questions you ask before they're able to submit the form or to actually become a lead to make sure you're qualifying these people. So everything can be tracked. And we do that. We're a great example. If anyone's ever seen our social media, whether it's our Facebook, we have TikTok as well, YouTube, everything's tracked separately. And yeah, Polly, a good CRM will help with tracking. So you want to have tracking numbers and tracking links. You could set tracking links. So I know if any of you guys attended this webinar, if you found us through a Facebook ad, through organic, through a post, I'm able to actually see that information and see how many of our attendees today came from what sources, which is very, very cool. So I want to dive into the basics here, okay? The basics of branding. Who feels, drop in the chat, who feels you have an amazing brand? Who feels you have an amazing brand? Okay, what is a brand? Who feels like my brand, I could showcase it right now and it's awesome. We're super proud of it. Anyone feel like they have a strong brand? Okay. Dan, pretty good. The fact that I don't see people flying through these chats right now, shows me a lot of us need to focus on our brand. Because if you're investing in advertising dollars or time and efforts, you want to make sure that impression lasts and you have brand dominance. So branding is actually the process of giving your organization, your company, your products, it's actually creating what the consumer thinks in their mind. Right? If we were to see a Nike logo, we already have in our mind what we think of the Nike logo, what we think of Nike as a company overall. Just from the logo, we know it's Nike. Okay, so branding goes way beyond just a logo. Okay, so we put together a branding wheel. This branding wheel focuses on all the things that play a part in your brand. It's your online presence. It's what your company represents, your purpose, your values. Okay, we actually just went through a training ourselves to make sure we realigned our values and made sure our purpose was crystal clear going into 2025, more now than ever. Okay, your messaging. Your messaging is a part of your brand. How are you communicating? What's your tonality? The photos. Do the photos represent the quality of your work? The actual marketing. We found that the best ads have the best branding. A lot of the best performing ads have the best branding or have very clear branding. Because the benefits we know of branding, and I love this example of winter roofing, just seeing how everything's consistent. If you go on social media, it's consistent with the trucks you see driving around, with the door hangers, with the website. It all plays a role. Okay, you would never go to a Nike website and see the Nike logo on a shoe, but a different brand on the online and then a different brand on the box. Everything's cohesive. So one goal I want you to have for your company is to make sure everything's cohesive. So if they see your brand on a billboard and then they see the truck, they're able to correlate the two. Like, hey, that's Winter Roofing. Yep, we know them. They've been here for a while. I see them all over the place. My neighbor just used them. These are the type of mental notes we want somebody thinking or saying. So building a brand is going to build trust. Right now, we have a storm coming through Florida. And unfortunately, if you're in the Tampa area, Orlando area, you know it's going to cause really bad damage and devastation to these homes. It's terrible what's happening right now in Florida with the storms. There's a ton of companies here in Florida, right in the Tampa Bay area. Our good friend and one of our sales instructor, Corey Combs, is one of them who's based in Tampa. And because he has trust already in the area, what's going to happen when a storm happens? People are going to flood from all over trying to sell these homeowners and then get out of Dodge and get out of town. We don't want that. And so the brand builds trust so that they go to you when something happens and not just a random company that pops up because there's a storm. And building trust is building a brand. Building trust is building a brand. Okay. It also creates employee unity. People need to stand for something. People need to stand for something. What's that quote? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Everybody wants purpose. Everybody strives for purpose and has goals and has vision. And so your brand, you want people to be proud of your brand and you want everybody to communicate the same message on your team. So it's great to have meetings with your team about the brand and be transparent with where the company's going so everybody's aligned. It will create unity and it will help your team members feel like they're involved with something more than just a job. The other two things about branding is improving advertising. Like I said, we're tracking case studies on this. We did a rebrand at the beginning of the year. We tracked the person's marketing. The company's located in Pennsylvania. We tracked their marketing prior to the rebrand. prior to working with us. Then after the rebrand, and the results were astonishing. The cost per lead went down, and the remarketing campaign went up, meaning more people were engaging with them after the first initial engagement and actually being nurtured and coming back to work with this company, all through branding and revamping their logo, and their value they were giving online. And then brand loyalty. I mean, we do business with people as well. There's a human side to a brand, that you can, or a human side you can give to your brand that customers will actually relate to. And that's something we've been really happy to do, especially, if you've ever been on a call with Liz, with Kelly, with Oscar, some of our team, they're super funny. I'm the serious one. If you can't tell, I go straight to the facts, but we have that personality, that charisma. We treat a lot of the people we work with, you guys are our friends at the end of the day. You're our friends, you're our partners, and we work together and we have brand loyalty because of that. We're always honest, we're always transparent, and it's created a consistent loyalty, which everyone should strive to do with their roofing company. And you could see that if you ever looked at any of our reviews, you'll be able to see that. So super awesome. And by the way, thank you guys. Thank you, everyone. There's a ton of people still on this call. And we're about to get into a lot of really great stuff. So I'm glad you guys are sticking around. But thank you guys all for taking the time to be here today. I know your brand is important, and to you, and growth is important for 2025 and finishing out this last quarter of the year strong. So Kelly actually just pulled up.
I just pulled up. So this was the client we were referring to. So this is another one of the services that we do, is just helping with branding and really helping people stand out. So on the left, that was the logo that they started with. I think that they just purchased it off of one of those cheap $99 logo websites, something along those lines, which is fine when you're just getting started. You just want to start getting your name out there and hitting the ground running, right? But after a while, they've already been growing. They're pretty established in their market, and they have a great company culture. We love these guys. They've been to our office a ton of times. We wanted to give them a brand that really represented who they are, their traditional values, showing really that, it's a family-owned business and focusing on the father-son aspect of it. So we're able to put this brand together for them. And this is just a screenshot of their website we designed as well, just tying everything together. We also created their yard signs, brochures, company magazine, everything tied into the brand. We also run their ads too. So with all that branding work that we did, we're able to translate that into the ads. So when you're driving by in that community and you see their yard signs, you see their yard flags, you see their team members, dressed up working on a job. And then you go online and you see their social media presence and you see their ads. It all is looking the same, all communicating for that brand recognition, that brand awareness, and that brand dominance.
Love it. Yeah, thanks, Kelly, for sharing. I like to give real examples, and this is exactly one of the scenarios I've talked about. We've done this for hundreds of companies, taking them from just a general concept to something that's very specific. Actually, that was a father-son duo, so it really speaks to their values as a company, and our values. Who we are. Drop it in the chat. Has anyone been to one of our classes or at our headquarters in Fort Lauderdale? Has anyone been to any of our classes in Fort Lauderdale? I want to know if anyone's here who's actually attended our classes. All right, we got one person here. Not yet. Yeah, we have a class coming up October 16th through 18th. This is where it's at. So it's so important. You could see here just from the photo, and I don't even think this is everybody this is one of our first classes at the new office. We have a 5,000 square foot contractor school where Liz, myself, and some of our partners will actually go through step by step how to build your roofing company. But it starts with culture. It starts with culture. I see a couple of people are attending the next class. That is awesome. I cannot wait to see you. I'm actually going to be giving in a portion of the 3 days. I'm going to be giving a marketing presentation. I put together a completely fresh presentation to finish out the year strong that I'm really excited to share with you guys live here in Fort Lauderdale. And this class, by the way, these classes, we have different ones, but this one is going to be the roofing SOP that you need to grow the company. Just so you guys, a lot of you have heard of Business 411 or you got here through Marketing 411. But we're both, we're sister companies at the end of the day. Business 401 is known in the industry for having the first ever white label roofing training manuals and our SOP classes. We're the only people teaching something like this in the roofing industry, so we're very proud. And then Marketing 401 is a lot of the done for you services and now marketing education. We want to make sure you're educated and you know how to dominate. And so Beatrice asked, do you recommend the class for someone who is just starting to work in marketing? I recommend this class for any company that's trying to grow and really, really increase revenue, streamline processes, knowing how to hire the right people at the right time and put them in the right places. I recommend this class for anybody who's looking to scale. This will streamline what you need to do exactly for your business. There's 100+ page SOP step by step of what you need to do to grow your roofing and exteriors business. David, how do I sign up? Kelly, maybe we could shoot a link for anyone who's interested and would like to sign up or set up a call about the class. We can show you some of the SOP on that call as well. Just a little bit about us, guys, before we continue into some of the Google marketing strategies is we've been lucky enough. We've created hundreds of brands. We've managed 750 million in revenue for roofing clients. So this class we're talking about right now is based off the 750 million in revenue we've seen, where you can actually, step by step what it took for these companies to grow, and we created it into a repeatable system that you can use. So imagine the biggest contractor in your market gave you their exact playbook of how they did it. That's exactly what we're doing in this class. And we have over 2,000 companies using our manuals for onboarding and training their team. And we have over 650 companies who have used our designs, our marketing, or other marketing related services. So it's been really cool to see all the value we've been able to have in the industry here. Just to give you guys a little preview, we've had more than 4 classes now held in our office in Fort Lauderdale. Everyone loves coming for a vacation in Fort Lauderdale. We also do have a virtual option if it's a little bit too short of notice for you to travel. We do have that option, but I do recommend coming in person because you actually get to shake hands with 30, 50 other roofing companies all over the country and create those connections with people you see here on the right, like Corey Combs, Jason Berg, people who have established a great success for themselves in commercial and in retail roofing. All right, so enough about us. I want to jump into the focus question. One of the focus questions of today is, are you dominating your local market? Do you feel confident that you're leaving no stone unturned? You're leaving no leads on the table? Are you actually dominating? Are customers finding you? Are leads finding you? Or are they finding your competitors? So I want to start with, again, the foundational items here. So if you didn't know, okay, and I'll touch on these stats really quickly, but I think it's important, is that 80%, if we go to the next slide here, 80% of people, consumers, actually don't know who they're going to work with. They do not have a set company in mind before they search online. This number, 80%, is insane. That's like such a huge amount of people in your market right now searching every day that don't know what company they're going to work with. They work with either the first one to show up or the one with the best reputation and reviews. That's why these strategies are so important. Okay. And so these leads can easily work with your company based on your online visibility, your website quality, and the experience they have when they call in and talk to the front of line person, like your Allison of the company, right? That person who could really have a great friendly tone and take that person from a person calling and asking questions to converting them to a booked appointment. So I'll touch on this very, very quickly because I want to get into the details here. These are where potential customers come from. These are the free strategies on the right. We have client referrals, free social media postings I'm going to go through, door-to-door, networking events, online reviews, and online directories. That's the free side. I want you to comment. If everyone can comment, which one of these you see as your biggest lead source? Which one of these are your biggest lead source? Okay, referral. Jason says referrals are his biggest lead source. All right, well, here's how you could rank kind of who's ready to buy. Rebecca says referrals. Dan says Google. Nancy says referrals. If referrals are your biggest lead source, I'm very happy, but I'm also concerned because that's not, what if referrals are slow that month? Are you going to slow down your business growth because your main referral partner, or you just didn't get the average referrals you normally get? Referrals by previous clients, that's great. Nice job, Ricardo. I want to see you guys have other things besides just referrals being your main lead source. Referrals should just be like the cherry on top. I have some people, CF Roofing does door to door. That's the main lead source. 19014. Google, Facebook, and referrals. Patsy, referrals by a long shot, been in business 44 years. Haley, Thumbtack. Allegiance, restoration. Okay. All right, so these are your lead quality. This is who's ready to buy. A lot of you said referrals. Again, that's great, but that's just the cherry on top. I never want a company to solely be or have referrals be like so far that you have nothing else and you're just relying on referrals. It's great. I love referrals, but imagine how much more revenue and growth your business could have if you had other strategies in place. And something I always recommend is a 360 approach, which means that you have different legs of your marketing. So if one stops working, you still could rely on those other legs, okay, to keep you guys going. You never want just one source, one stream. Okay, so client referrals are the hottest, then Google PPC, and then we go into some of the other things like social media, networking events, which we're going to talk about, and streaming. So what we've learned from working with thousands of contractors is traditional advertising is great. I am not against it by any means, but you should prioritize digital. The reason being is you can actually have measurable results with digital and actually track how many eyeballs, so how many people saw your company, how many people interacted with your company, and how many people actually clicked and submitted a form or contacted you online. And that's what's so great about digital marketing that traditional advertising is missing. Now, again, I'm still for traditional advertising, but if you have to choose or prioritize your strategy going into Q4 or the new year, digital marketing is where you want to prioritize everything. Because again, the tracking is so, it gives you such a clear insight. I don't know how many times, I mean, if anyone's running TV commercials or a billboard, you don't know how many people actually saw that billboard. Yes, they may say that an estimated people drive by each day, but you don't know how many people actually were looking at the billboard, how many people scanned the billboard or actually called, right? Those aren't things that really are tracked. So digital, what the benefits are is measurable results. There's competitive advantage. It's more cost effective. So you'll get a lot of bang for your buck with digital, especially with targeted ads that are remarketing. So we talked about right now, you all have a ton of leads, prospects, old customers who are sitting in your database that you have not nurtured or re-engaged with. And you could do that with targeted ads. I want to give you guys an example. We're going to be at RoofCon in Orlando in a couple of weeks. We have a really, really cool surprise booth there that you guys are, if anyone's going to RoofCon this year, you will see us. I don't even have to tell you to stop by. You will see our booth. It will stand out. Our branding is on point. Shout out to Kelly for that. But you will see us there at RoofCon. And targeted ads, here's a perfect example. And you can do this for your homeowner shows and other neighborhoods events. We're going to RoofCon, but that's not enough. We're actually going to draw a digital fence with our ads around RoofCon. So any person, any roofer or contractor who walks into RoofCon during the event, we're actually going to target them with ads ongoing. Because we know our market, our contractors, our people are at this event. Well, you could do the same. You could do the same with your home shows, even if you're not there, but if you're there, it's even better. And you could do it with neighborhoods. You could target certain neighborhoods with certain messaging. You have the opportunity to go so deep in delivering the correct messaging to the correct neighborhood. And that's really a huge opportunity. Oh, cool, Kelly, that's what's up. Okay, so for anyone who's going to RoofCon or wants to go, If you want to come to Orlando, RoofCon in Orlando, and need a free ticket, hit us up. We're going to hook you guys up with some free tickets to RoofCon. So all you got to do is I think we'll put a link. We're going to put a link here towards the end where you guys can schedule a meeting and we'll get you your free ticket. We'll get you your free ticket. So please just, we'll put that code up here shortly and we'll hook you guys up with that ticket because I would love to see you guys, meet you in person, talk about your marketing and just hang out and have a good time. Kelly, can we go back for one more slide? And then I'll speed it up here a little bit. The other thing is adaptability. I just want to give you guys this mindset, this framework you need to understand. And as a CMO, I have to understand this for our company to see growth. Okay, so with adaptability, you need to adapt and try new things. Do not be scared of running Facebook ads or Google if you've never ran them before. It's really important that you try different marketing techniques. I'll give you a perfect example. We had someone on this call who said that they had great success. They had some viral videos on TikTok. TikTok's a perfect example of a missed opportunity. When TikTok first came out, okay, all of us thought it was silly. It was for dancing. It was just like we didn't even pay it any attention. But there was a few of us who did. There was a few of us who did, and we started posting videos. And next thing you know, during COVID, we had a huge audience. We built a huge customer base or a huge audience base because we adapted and leveraged new technologies, new areas to get new business, new eyeballs. And so those people who said, oh, TikTok's silly, and those others who invested some time into it are reaping all the benefits. And someone on this call is probably a great example of that. They're able to generate leads. Their biggest problem is trying to figure out how to track them, right? Because they put the time into creating TikToks that were going to reach new audiences. So I want you to have that mindset going into marketing. You do not know till you try, and what worked for someone else may or may not work for you. So let's keep going. Let's keep going here through the marketing foundations checklist. I'm going to kind of sprint through this because I have a lot more details I want to get through. And Kelly posted the link. Jason, come hang out with us, vacation in Orlando for RoofCon. She posted the link in the chat, so I saw a bunch of people wanted that ticket. Just schedule a meeting with us and we'll get you hooked up with a ticket to RoofCon. So marketing foundations checklist, define your brand identity. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I at least wanted to give you some foundations and a checklist you can go through after this call. What's your brand really all about? Businesses evolve over time, so you want to focus on the brand messaging and make sure you clarify, what your unique selling points are. You want to create a professional website. I'm going to talk about that here shortly. You want to make sure your Google business profile is optimized. I'm going to give you a checklist as well today. You want to have print materials that align with your brand, high quality print materials. Your materials are the representation of your company and of the work you do. No one wants a flimsy business card. It just shows that your quality of your roof is probably the same. You have to invest in your materials to look and position yourself as a professional company. So we're going to talk about that. Keep going through here on the marketing checklist. Social media, we're going to talk about leveraging social media. Networking events, we're not going to touch that much on today, but it still is a part of the foundations that you should have at your company to actually build those face-to-face relationships with property managers, real estate agents, other good referrals for you to have. We're going to talk about cost-effective advertising options. So we're going to talk about some advertising that you can do to avoid spreading your marketing budget too thin, especially if you're starting out. And then community involvement, just participating in community events, sponsoring local causes, supporting charity initiatives. There's a lot of things you could do that help charity, but actually help your marketing digitally as well. They help your marketing digitally as well.
I wanted to touch on a point too with this presentation, at least these checklists. If you're on the call and you haven't quite gotten to 1 million yet, or if you're trying to grow from, 1 million, 2 or 3, this checklist is really for you. I would screenshot it, make sure you have this set up because these are all we would call foundational elements of your marketing. You can't get far with your marketing. Your budget's not going to get really good, really far unless you have each of these things set up. So somewhat of your brand set up, definitely a website. That's the foundation of all your marketing, ends up being your website. It all ties back to it, whether an ad points to your website or QR codes that you have on different materials point to your website. You want to make sure that that's running and that's on point. Google Business Profile. Everyone on this call, if you have a business, you better have a Google Business Profile or Ariel's going to go to your house and start yelling at you. That's really important. Print materials, that's a super basic thing that everyone should have nice quality versions of. That's where you're going to see a lot of your opportunities. Social media, networking, cost-effective advertising, community involvement, everything Ariel touched on. This is your foundations checklist. So next time you're trying to consider like, hey, what's the best thing I can do now to market my business? Here's the 8 things to get started. And we'll go to the next.
Perfect. So I want to go to the next slide here. We've been getting a lot of private DMs about this playbook that goes into the details. If anyone has questions about the playbook or want to get a little preview of it, you could scan this QR code here. It's over 100 pages of marketing content. It's an exact playbook. If you think this is just the gist of it compared to what this contractor's playbook goes through. If any of you have ever seen one of our manuals or have our manuals, you know how detailed they are. We've laid out the exact process for you. So anyone who's messaged us privately, here you go. Here's the QR code you could scan. Jason, yes, there is an average % of profit that should be assigned to marketing. We lay that out for you in the marketing playbook as well. Awesome. Someone purchased it yesterday evening. Amazing. Amazing. I can't wait for you to get it in your hands.
Yeah, today's the last day of our special pre-order. So you're actually going to get this, you can get this manual for just $99 today. So I definitely recommend getting that. It's basically everything we've covered in this presentation and tons more. What we have in this presentation is probably like, maybe like 20 pages worth of content that we go into there with. And actually this page that we have right here answers Jason's question exactly. So I'm glad I put that up there. But anyway, if you want even more content, if you want more pros and cons on different strategies, step-by-step, guides on getting some foundational stuff set up and other FAQs you should know about your marketing, I highly recommend getting this guide. And today's the last day for that special pricing as well. If you're not sure and you want to connect with us too, I also put the booking link so you can learn more. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, we still have a ton to go over in this webinar today. We're going to talk about Google strategy now, and then we're going to dive into the Google business profile. We're going to talk about SEO. We're going to hop into social media. We're going to talk about marketing partnerships, and then we're going to close out the webinar with something really, really crazy about your website. We're going to talk about websites, and we have something really, really cool about your website that you can do to improve it right away. So let's talk about the Google strategy here. So Google is the dominant player. Okay, this is nothing new. This is the basics. Okay, 94% of the market of leads, people who are searching, go through Google. And that's why we have it as such a priority. Okay, these are people who are actively searching for services you provide, making them more qualified, and usually they're looking to act now. So if someone was to type in roof repair Fort Lauderdale, chances are they have a leak or they have an issue. And that's why we love Google so much. Social media is great too, but nobody's scrolling Facebook looking for, if I have a roof leak, I'm not going on Facebook looking for a roofing company. I'm usually going right to Google. And so that's why we like Google as a priority strategy that you should have, especially in addition to those referrals. I've seen a lot of you put referrals. The more customers you have, the more referrals you have. So we want to get you on Google and leveraging it. So who's using Google right now to leverage? If we go to the next slide here, I want to know who's using Google to get new customers. Who's using Google to get new customers? Okay. Are you using Google Ads? Are you using LSA? Are you using SEO? What are you using on Google to get new customers? Google Guarantee.
While we're waiting on answers for that, I just want to give a shout out. We have VersaCon just purchased the manual, Fair Trade Roofing just signed up for the manual, and Smart Choice Roofing and a few others just signed up for the manual. Thank you guys so much. You guys are going to love it. We're going to be sending that out to you today.
That is awesome. Hey, anyone who signed up, I'm having a marketing mentorship call next week on the 15th. I'm going deep diving into how to set up your Google Ads. I'm going to give you guys free access to that as well. To anyone who just purchased, to anyone who purchases today on the marketing manual, when you set up your call, make sure they'll give you access with a call with me next week. I'm going to talk about, it will be a smaller call. It will be just a few of us getting together, and I'm going to run through Google Ads. So shout out to you guys for taking action. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to helping you. All right, let's keep going. I got a lot of content. We're not even close to through of all the good stuff I got for you guys. This is where we're going to start getting into the nitty gritty, the stuff that's going to move the needle here. So let's go to the next slide. I'm just going to touch on this very quickly because I think a lot of us, we know about Google. Everyone on this call knows about Google, but you don't know if you're doing it right necessarily. Obviously, there's immediate things you can do. Google PPC and LSA are the two immediate things you can do. Okay. Google PPC is where you could actually get to the top pretty much in the same day or same week. You could set up ads and get in front of all your competitors. It's a pay to play approach. Okay. And then same thing, Google LSA. Google LSA, this is vetted, so it's cool because it won't let those contractors who don't actually have their licensing or insurance information, they cannot get on Google LSA. So it weeds out some of those, those lower companies that are just trying to, outbid everybody, and focuses on the high quality companies. Google LSA is great because it's pay per lead, and they're incorporating a lot of AI into their system to automatically start refunding you for unqualified leads. And then your biggest investment is going to be organic SEO. This is the best long-term strategy because the cost per lead is essentially free, meaning you're not paying Google, you're only paying for the time or efforts you're putting into SEO, but you're not actually paying for those leads like you are with Google PPC or LSA. So this is really a great strategy. I like to use all three of these together. If you are a contractor, if you are a service-based business, there's no reason why you should not have PPC and LSA running and working on your SEO in the background, because over time, your SEO will start producing more volume and consistent volume than some of your paid advertising efforts. And that's really what I love to see. There's nothing better than an organic lead form coming through, a qualified lead. So this is what Google looks like. This is the layout. This is the breakdown. And this is what we're going to talk about before we get into social media. This is what the search results look like. Okay. LSA is the very first thing that shows up. You can see at the very top is LSA. When you search roofers near me or any other roofing keyword, LSA shows up first, local service ads, and it shows about 2 to 3 companies here. And these are going to get majority of the clicks because they're right at the top. So that's why you want to prioritize LSA. Now, the best part about LSA is it's totally free. It's totally free until you actually get a lead. That's when you pay. So it's something everybody on here should have. PPC is then underneath the LSA. So that's the second thing that shows up on the search results. And this puts you right at the top as well. You could drive them to specific landing pages, specific lead calculator, instant estimate calculators, and you can drive them to specific pages with specific branding. So that's another great opportunity because these are the two things people look at first. After that, this is where the organic SEO side comes in. So we have your Google business profile. You want to be in this top 3 of the maps, especially on mobile. This is something people see very high up on Google, and you want to show up here because if anybody clicks here to call you on Google Maps, you are not paying for that lead. And then underneath it is organic SEO. This is where your website actually ranks. And this is after LSA, PPC, and the SEO of your Google business profile. Whatever you do, it's important that you make sure they find you. Because if your customers don't find you, they're finding somebody else. And something else I want to note is that you could search multiple keywords. Let me give you an example. You could search roofer near me and show up Dan number 2 on your business profile, which is amazing. And then you search roof replacement. And then you search metal roofing. And then you search roofing company Fort Lauderdale, right? And you're not showing up in the top 3. So you want to make sure the more keywords you show up for that people are searching, the more business you will attract. The more keywords you show up for, the more business you will attract. So you want to be in the top 3 for as many keywords as possible. And we could actually see on Google, obviously, we could see how How many people, so for example, if we set up a one-on-one meeting, I could say roofers near me, and I could tell you exactly how many people in your specific area are searching every single month for roofers near me on Google to determine if it's a good keyword to target.
I want to give another shout out to the Apex Group and Patriot Roofing for getting the marketing manual. Can't wait for you guys to get that.
Let's go. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I cannot wait for you guys to be on the call next week as well, and talk about your Google ads. So, all right, 64%. So we were just talking about the different strategies on Google, and we talked about that Google business profile, which everyone on this call should have. Okay, 64% of consumers use Google business profile to find contact details, meaning they're searching, they're going to the Google business profile, and that's how they're hitting the call or the directions or seeing who you are and looking at your reviews. That's why it's so important you keep your Google business profile active and up to date. That should always be the first step of your marketing strategy because it's free. I had someone at the beginning call say, we love free. Okay, here you go. This is one of the free things you can do to optimize your profile. So on the left-hand side, our favorite company, Winter Roofing. Who doesn't love Winter Roofing? On the left-hand side, we have the not optimized profile. And on the right-hand side, we have the optimized profile. And I'm going to give you the checklist right after this slide. But on the left-hand side, you could see this company only has one review. They do not have a phone, well, obviously it's a fake phone number, but they do not have a website. They do not have business hours, and they just have a bunch of images there that are not ready products, not finished products. Okay. And then on the right, we have a company that has, you know, 17 reviews. We have the address, we have the areas served, we have the phone number, we have the hours, we have the questions and answers. So you could actually put a Q&A on your Google business profile to answer the most common questions. And then you have photos that are professional and represent the quality of their work. Okay, so let me show you what you could do to optimize your profile. This is your checklist. Okay. On the left-hand side is all the essential business information you need to have. Now, if you might have set up your Google business profile a while ago. So I suggest if you set it up a long time ago, you look back to make sure these things are filled out. A lot of people skip things that they think are not necessary, but in Google's eyes, it is. So business is the open date of your business, description with keywords. Okay, you have 750 character limit. You want to fill that up. Any attributes. So if you're a veteran-owned company, a Black-owned company, a woman-ran company, okay, you want to make sure you have those things filled out. Then you want to make sure you have the operating and contact information. Everybody should have a scheduling link or a contact page link on their Google business profile. Why are you going to make it difficult when most people want to schedule an appointment right through their phone? Think about it like Amazon when you go shop. We need to make scheduling appointments that easy. Don't make it hard for people to find you. So enabling direct messaging. People could actually direct message you from Google. A lot of people don't have this enabled, so you want to make sure it's enabled. And then something else is time they opened and closed. Someone touched on this earlier. I can't tell you how many companies put random hours or 24 hours when they're actually not prepared to do business 24 hours or even answer calls. Unless you have a 24/7 answering service, do not put 24 hours. Actually put the hours you operate so that person knows and they can call you back the next morning. Okay. And they're not calling and not getting an answer because then they're going to assume, oh, they're not answering. I'm going to go to the next. But if you set the tone that the business is closed right now, they'll know to call in the morning. Okay. And then last but not least, photos. We want to have, great 360 photos, project videos. You could show the inside of your office, the exterior of your office, team photos. A lot of people miss out on team photos, with your branded shirts. Okay, so we're on brand here as well. Branded team photos, pictures of your trucks, your yard signs at the job, before and afters, your logos, your mascots, everything like that should be posted on your Google business profile as well. Okay. Somebody asked, what do people use for scheduling? Do you use Calendly? Yes. So you could use Calendly. All of our marketing clients, we include a calendar that replicates something similar to Calendly that we hook up for you as well, where people can schedule right from your website, right from your Google business profile, and makes booking appointments super easy. People want convenience. People want convenience at the end of the day. All right. So that's the checklist. I hope everyone got a screenshot of that checklist. We go into, so if you got the marketing manual, this is like a fraction, a little snippet, but we actually go into exact details of what you'll need to do for your Google business profile. So I want to jump into SEO. I want to jump into SEO. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Someone said, I like the text reminders that we got to remind us of the upcoming webinar. Nice touch. Definitely. We set up all those automations for our clients too. When you're, having an appointment, we make sure the customers get those same type of text and emails to remind them and just set a friendly tone. So shout out to our marketing manager, Tallis. He leads all the automations there for us. So thanks for the compliment. All right, let's keep going. So we have SEO do and do not. So I wanted to provide this. I could not get through this webinar without touching base on SEO. It's something we get asked a lot and it's so important. So I want to give you a basic do and do not for SEO. Content is a big factor, okay? You want to make sure that you do good keyword research that actually has keywords people are searching for, okay? Keywords people are actually searching for, and that you write content around those keywords and those service areas. Do not use ChatGPT to copy and paste. You need to make it unique to your business. You can leverage ChatGPT to help assist with the writing process, but you want to make sure there's professional content written that actually, some people write and post just to post. It's not effective. You're wasting your time. Please do not waste your time in writing content that does not have specific criteria. If you got the Contractors Marketing book, we have that outlined as well. Focus on quality. Okay, because people are just able to spit up any content and generate any content now more than ever, Google is favoring quality content, creating informative, well-researched content that answers customers' questions. And we actually have a way on Google we can search and find what questions people are asking most in your market. So we could actually base our content around the questions that people are asking in your market. You want to update your content regularly. Okay. You want to keep your content fresh and relevant with regular updates. Your website structure, I'm going to talk about websites here, are so important. The navigation to the actual pages actually have to match your brand and your SEO strategy. A lot of people miss the opportunity here just based on the website to actually have SEO. You invest money in a website and it doesn't actually have the SEO structure you need to grow, to get results. And then reviews. I'm not going to go too far into this, but reviews at the end of the day, it's still one of the highest ranking factors. So I always want you to prioritize reviews and making sure your team's getting reviews and you have a good follow-up process to get reviews. And if you can want to go the extra mile, getting customer video testimonials. Nothing speaks more than a video testimonial. And we are our own, we're our own case study for that. If you go to Business 401, for example, our YouTube page, you will see hundreds, I think at this point, of testimonials from our clients. So we can run a custom. Someone asked about finding some information about keywords in your area and questions being asked in your area. Autumn, we can actually pull an SEO report for you, and we could do that on the one-on-one call just to be respectful of everyone's time on here. We could do something more personalized to what your market has available. Things you want to avoid for SEO, keyword stuffing. You want to use keywords naturally in the content. Google can tell, and it's one of the biggest red flags. You do not want to overdo it. So you do not want to overdo it and start, putting in a bunch of keywords a bunch of times. There's actually a set amount of times that your content should have certain keywords and secondary keywords. Do not duplicate content. You want to make sure content's original and unique. Using these chat tools is great, but you do not want to just simply copy and paste. You will be penalized for that, and Google can tell. Google is very smart. The algorithm's very smart. Avoid thin content. So provide actual substantial value on each page. You want to aim, this can vary, but you want to aim for 1,000 words, and you want to have, strong storyline, strong proof of data, strong keywords within it, and actually have it answer the questions your customers want to know. Not what you want to write about, what actually the customers want to know. Mobile optimization. This is something you'd be surprised. We can run free website reports of how Google sees your website How many people do not have their their website optimized on mobile, and Google is penalizing them for that? And also your customers will turn away. So we recommend regular website checks. And we could actually, on that call, if anyone's scheduled the report or call with us, a one-on-one, we can go through and actually look at your website's rate, optimization rate for mobile and websites. And like I said, just don't ignore the user intent. So I want to just touch on one more thing before we jump to the next section, which is transactional keywords. Not every keyword is a transactional keyword. A transactional keyword is a keyword that really shows us they want to buy. Whereas if somebody's putting other keywords like, maybe it's cost of a new roof or something about a roofing material, we're not sure if they are ready to buy. But there's other keywords where we know people are ready to buy, and we have tools to show us which of these keywords are transactional. And that's where we want to focus your content around. We want to use your website to sell for you. And I'm going to talk about here in just a few moments about how you could use your website to be a selling machine. Please do not underestimate the value of your website and how it can sell for you.
Awesome. Thanks for the info, Ariel. This is some high level SEO stuff. So this is some stuff. Some of the terminology might be a little bit difficult, but the baseline of a lot of the content here is make sure that if you're going through the effort of writing content for your website, building out your website, that it's being built out in a way that it sells for you. It should have content that your customers are interested in learning about that helps sell your company. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of the biggest takeaway from here is just being strategic in that and the way that you go about it. I also want to give out a super quick shout out to two more companies that just signed up for the marketing playbook. Agape Construction Solutions, sorry if I'm not saying that right, and Thornton's Roofing Company. Thornton just purchased tons of our manuals. I think they're coming to our class too. So thank you so much for signing up.
Let's go. Thank you guys so much. Seriously, we're so excited to be able to work with you and help you. And this is what we do it. This is what we do this for is to help you guys. There's nothing that makes me happier than seeing you guys grow. So for anyone who's still messaging us about the playbook, I just wanted to share this link here for you guys. The QR code. A couple people didn't have a chance to grab it. And then I want to keep going through. But this will be your deep dive. So the SEO portion I just touched on, I can get really technical, guys. Like I can go deep. I can go really deep, but I'm trying to pull it out here high level because these are the basic things you need to know and do. But the Contractors Playbook will go really deep as well. Myself and Kelly and a couple members on our team wrote this manual together. So we thought about, every single aspect of your business and what you need to know. Moving into,
and one more thing on SEO. So we go really deep into it in the manual, but the biggest thing I want you guys to take away is like the owner and the leadership of a roofing company shouldn't be writing blogs, shouldn't be, creating this content. What you do need to be doing is knowing enough about this type of content so that when you do partner with a marketing company, when you do have an in-house marketing team, you understand where to direct them and what needs to be done and what are the deliverables. So that's what a big part of this manual is for, is helping you understand and being able to step into a marketing meeting with, your agency or with potential agency you're looking to work with and understand the business enough and understand what you really need to achieve. So you're just making really confident decisions with your marketing. That's the biggest takeaway. We want to give you all the info we know so that you're super confident on all aspects of your marketing.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. All right. So let's jump into social media. Let's touch on some basics here real quick. Okay. Let's touch base on the stats. 55% of consumers learn about new businesses through social media, new to them businesses through social media. So people are scrolling on social media. They either see a post or they see an ad or they see a friend who shared something, right? And that's how they get exposure to your business for the first time. So should your business be posting on social media? Absolutely. Content should be a priority for your business. It's something that you should have a team member, whether it's an admin, a marketing team member, or a partner focusing on, because content is the something cannot be ignored for 2025. If you didn't do a great job or hit your content goals this year, it needs to be a priority, because content is how people are consuming and learning about new brands. And you could do that through social media. We talked about what's important for a brand, and social media is one of those things, because you have the opportunity to get your logo, your people, your vision, your mission, your services in front of your market, and it will build trust. It will build customer engagement. It will increase brand visibility, and it will do everything you need to actually stay competitive and grow your business. Please do not be that person who laughed at TikTok. I'm even kind of guilty of that, and not take advantage of it, because look who has the last laugh, all the businesses that are dominating through social media. So what's the difference between paid social media and organic social media, and which one should you be using for your company at the point you're at? Okay. Now, if you're just starting out, organic is a great starting point. You can get natural engagement. Something really important is a lot of people don't realize they're actually sharing content to the business page that has no real following. Everything from your business page needs to be shared to your personal page, because that's where your real friends, community, acquaintances are. So if you're going to do organic social media, make sure you leverage yourself. Make sure you leverage yourself. When people see Ariel Cohen, they should know marketing for contractors. Okay, when people see you, they should know roofing expert, roofing professional, or your company. Okay, there's no direct cost to posting organically. It's totally free. It just requires time and effort. And it's not always the best use of the owner's time to be doing it. So I recommend someone on your team or a partner does it. It's not the best use of your time. You need to focus on the growth and vision of the company. You can kind of oversee it, but actually doing the postings is a waste of your time. If you're a growing company, you should have somebody else help you with that, if you have any team members. Now with organic, your reach is limited. Obviously, it only goes to your follower account unless content goes viral. But it is good at building long-term relationships, brand loyalty, community, and it does have a sustained impact. One thing I want to note is just posting in groups for free. So you could join mom groups, veteran groups, different community groups. If you have kids, right? Different things you can post in different groups that you're a part of on Facebook that are free to join, and you could start sharing value into those groups. You don't want to just go selling. You want to actually share value and help the homeowners in that group, so they begin to know, oh, okay, this person, so-and-so, they're the roofing expert in this group. Or Ariel Cohen, okay, she's the marketing expert in this group. So just share value in Facebook groups. It's totally free. It's totally free to send messages, to write comments, to offer help, and that will build a good organic presence. And then Kelly, go back really quick. I know we're in a rush, but social media, paid social media, this is going to be your instant reach. This is just like on Google. This is going to allow you to get to more people faster. It's going to have specific target audiences that you could have, and it's going to the cost involved is minimal compared to Google, and there's actual measurable ROI and short-term impact. And I showed you earlier on this call how you could see what ads your competitors are leveraging as well for insights. So both organic and paid are great strategies. Some will do one, some will do both. It just depends on the size of your company and the resources you have. Do you want to use your time to grow or your money to grow? It just depends on the size of your company. We use both, just to give you an example. And so does Ray, uses both. Awesome. All right, let's keep going through, because I want to get to websites.
I would say the next two sections we're about to get into are probably the most important sections that business owners should know about. So we have about 20 minutes left. We're going to try to get through everything. We might run a little longer for questions. So I would recommend, if you're able to, stay on. This is really like the heart of the presentation, and a lot of like the really key info that as business owners, you guys should understand, leveraging your marketing partners, and having how to have a great website. So Ariel, I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. So we're going to get into marketing partners' websites. It is very important. I always save the good stuff till the end. But one of the number one questions I get asked by contractors is, how do I find the right marketing person or company to partner with? It's very important, especially if you're not as knowledgeable about marketing, or maybe you are. You need to have the right person, and you need to flesh them out and make sure they meet the qualifications. There's someone you can trust. So here's the 5 key qualities to look for in a marketing partner. Okay, this is very important. Number one, industry experience. Would you want somebody working on your marketing who doesn't understand how a roofing company works? Who doesn't understand the industry, who does not understand the price point, who they focus on beauty brands? Do you think a beauty brand, someone who specializes in marketing for beauty brands, can relate and help a roofing company? Well, most likely not. And if they do, they're testing you as kind of the test dummy, right? To see what works and what doesn't. And I don't know about you, but I don't like to waste my marketing efforts. So it's really important the person has industry experience. They should understand the challenges and opportunities you have in your sector. Whether you're in exteriors, whether you're in HVAC, whether you're in remodeling, roofing, they should understand that. So you want a company or person that specializes in that industry. Next is going to be a proven track record. They should have some sort of case study, testimonial, references that they're able to deliver results and understand what success looks like for businesses similar to yours. This goes back to industry experience. If they've worked with other people in the industry, they should have some key insights and be able to deliver those to you to show you, hey, here's what we suggest the marketing strategies be. Here's what we've seen work. Here's what we know has proven to work. Number three is going to be cultural fit. At the end of the day, no one wants to do business with someone they don't like or don't enjoy being around, right? No one wants to hop on a call with, oh, here, I got to hop on this call with the person again. It's just a waste of my time. No, it needs to be a good cultural fit. You need to make sure the person, the agency, that their values align with your company's values, and it's a good cultural fit, that you guys communicate well and that you speak the same language. I've grown businesses multiple times. I can't imagine working with someone like, imagine someone trying to grow your business who's never grown their own business, right? So that's really important. Four is going to be transparency. Transparency, a good marketing agency or person's always going to be transparent about their processes, their pricing, and their results. And that means the good and the bad. To be transparent with you guys right now, I've never met a marketing company or person that does not have campaigns that do not meet the cut or that do not perform poorly. It happens. It's natural but what's important is did that person communicate it to you? Hey, here's what we found. Here's why it didn't work. Here's what we're going to do differently. And it's so important to have that transparency with the person you're working with and be able to have regular updates, be open to asking questions, feedback, and understand what deliverables you're getting. What are they actually doing? What are they actually doing to move your marketing forward? Are they doing SEO? Are they doing PPC? Are they doing social media? All right. This drives me to point number 5 is technical experience. Okay. I find it almost impossible to find one marketing person who understands SEO, PPC, website design, and social media. It's almost unheard of. You're talking about CMOs such as myself, very, very high level people who can understand all aspects. And even then, I'm not doing the technical SEO anymore. I've done it. I did it when I told you guys about myself. I did it in 2010 when I had my first SEO internship, right? As an intern and a junior level person. I don't do that anymore. I understand how it works. And then I have team members who do it. There's no one who will be able to actually do the SEO and have that high level marketing capability and do PPC and do websites. It's impossible. So you want to make sure you understand what you're trying to accomplish and does that person have the technical experience to accomplish it? Okay. And what I want for all of you guys is to be able to manage those people. So what I'm going to give you guys is the clear understanding of what you need to know so you can make sure they're doing a good job, the right job, and point them in the right direction. Okay. And this comes to tracking your marketing efforts. Tracking those efforts, this is like probably the second most common question I get asked is how can I better track results? How can I better track my results? Someone asked in the chat, how do you guys feel about using CallRail? Yes, I love using call tracking. We used to use CallRail, but we found a cheaper solution because CallRail is more expensive. All of our marketing programs do include call tracking, but you want to make sure you're tracking your marketing efforts. This means your calls, your form submissions, your website visits, the eyeballs on your ads, the clicks. You want to track it all. I want you to be able, I'm going to show you right now actually how you could break it down weekly, daily, and monthly. But I want you guys to be able to say at the end of a month, hey, we had X amount of leads. We had 100 leads, 10 came from Facebook, 20 came from Google Ads, 30 came from LSA, and so on. I want you to be able to actually break that down. So let's talk about what you need to track on a daily basis. If you're not tracking it, somebody on your team, your marketing partner or person should be tracking this. Okay. You want to focus on immediate metrics that can fluctuate. So here's the thing, and this is something I really, really want you guys to understand, is that most companies are only looking at their marketing monthly. They're only looking at their marketing monthly. That means they're making decisions only once a month on how to change, adjust, pivot, or improve and grow their marketing. If you check your metrics daily or even weekly, let's use weekly as an example because that's a little bit more realistic for some of us. You have 52 opportunities to make your marketing better, where your competitors only have 12 because they're only checking it once a month. So it's important that you have regular tracking. Some things you could track daily is website tracking. So you can monitor daily how many visitors you're getting, how many, sources you're getting, from what sources, from social, from organic, any spikes or drops, issues or opportunities, ad performance. You could see your ad performance every single day. You could see, we always do live tracking so you guys can see everything, but you could see how your campaigns are performing from conversions, impressions, and identify ads, that may be looking to trend to performing well or not performing. Email campaigns, that's something you could track as well. It shows click-through rates. And the biggest one you could track daily is social media engagement. You could be active on social media daily, reaching out to people, responding to comments, doing posts, and getting the actual growth that's going to give immediate impact to your content and to your ad campaigns. Now, if we go weekly, this is really, really where I want you all to be at weekly, because again, weekly gives you 52 opportunities to make good marketing decisions where your competitors are maybe doing 12 times to make good marketing decisions. So you're going to one-up them. Your lead generation, you could track new leads generated across all channels, and you can compare these to your weekly goals. We just talked about in the beginning how many leads you need to generate each month, each week to go ahead and hit your revenue goal. So you could actually measure this weekly and compare it. We have something we use called a stoplight report, where every week we compare our numbers from the previous week. And we could see if we're red, green, or yellow. Did we beat our target? Did we come close? Did we hit it? Or did we not meet our target? Conversion rates, you could see what conversion rates you're having for your sales funnel from leads to customers and identify any bottlenecks, where people are dropping off. You might have a campaign that you launched for an instant estimator and see that not as many estimates are coming through. Well, why is that? Let's actually go through, check the conversion rate compared to the previous week and go through the experience and see if something's not working. Cost per lead, very easy to see your cost per lead. You can monitor that with one click of a button to see how much your CPL is and if anything needs to be adjusted, or if you're on track to meet your target cost per lead. And then content's something you could be launching weekly. You could be tracking your SEO metrics as well to see how many calls you're getting from the Google Business Profile, from your website, how many form submissions, and other key data points that you need. And you could identify trends and make strategic adjustments. Okay. And then last but not least on the tracking is going to be your monthly tracking. You want to, obviously, this is the biggest thing. You want to track the ROI of the month. Okay, the marketing efforts, how many leads they generate, how much revenue, how many booked appointments, how many quotes given. These are things you want to understand. Also, your customer acquisition costs. Okay, this is a mix between your marketing company and some other costs, but you want to know out of everything I spent and how many customers I got from that spend, what was the actual acquisition cost of that customer? So we have the lead cost, but how much is the acquisition cost? How many qualified leads do you have? So you could see sales qualified leads, marketing qualified leads. Your CRM is the best place to do this. You need to hold your team accountable to making sure your CRM is automated and updated manually by everybody on the team. It's a requirement because that's the only way you're going to get accurate data. And then you could do campaign performance, comprehensive campaign performance, where you could actually dive into not only what worked, what didn't work, and what the game plan is for the next month. So these are things that are very important to look at. All right, so now that you understand what you need to be tracking, I want to kind of, to conclude, go into what I think is one of the most important things right now is an effective website. and what that means. So your website's important because it's the foundation for all of your digital efforts. Whether you're just doing those free efforts because you're starting out or not sure, right? Or whether you're doing paid efforts and you're generating hundreds of leads a month, like we just heard earlier on this call, okay? It all comes back to, is your website performing well? Is it optimized? Are people able to get to where they need to go fast and get the information or the result desired? And so it's the foundation for everything. If you are going to invest into marketing, do not do it unless you have a website that can convert, that can get people from point A to point B. All right, so I'm going to go through some do's and don'ts for your websites, common mistakes I see all the time. And unfortunately, a lot of us on this call may have a lot of these mistakes on your website right now. So here's the do's and don'ts. I'm actually going to start with the don'ts for this one. Okay. Don't hide your contact information in the footer or just on the contact page. I cannot tell you how many people, if you look at your website right now, do not have your phone number in big writing up top. Big writing, have your phone number that's actually clickable, someone can click and call. Okay, something we do is we have on all of our websites, especially on mobile, is we have a footer that's sticky. It stays no matter what, and it always has a book now or call button that someone could easily click on and get to the next step, right? Because as they scroll, your phone number goes away. No, this stays right there, reminding them to book that appointment or to give you the call. Okay. Don't ask prospects to fill out long response forms. Get the most important information first. Nobody wants to take 10 minutes filling out a form. They're in a rush. People have low attention spans, including myself, right? And you just want to get the key info you need to be able to get that customer into your appointments list for the week, and more importantly, into your system, into your company's system. Do not neglect keeping up to date with hosting, software updates, and website security. I can't tell you how many times people have a website and then it goes down or pages aren't working. I actually was looking at a consultant website the other day and I went to go click on the site and his booking link was down. Imagine that you spend so much money advertising and not realizing your website booking link is down and like half the pages were not working on their website. It made me immediately not want to do business with that person. Content, that's another one, outdated content. If you did your website in 2022, 2021, 2020, and it was a brand new website then with great content, that's great, but it's most likely outdated. Because what worked then is not working now. So you want to make sure your current content is reflecting your current services, products, pricing, and has keywords that are actually being searched for in your market. Okay, so you want to do a content refresh. You want to do a content refresh. You want to avoid stock photos. You want to try to use authentic images. Obviously, everybody knows what a stock photo looks like, and it just seems not personal, not personalized. If you were really a great brand, you would have some photos of your truck, of your people, of your actual jobs, not just stock photos that look like some cookie cutter home that's not even relevant to the market that you're in. We want to avoid that at all costs. And then, don't focus on having a flashy site with all this animations and things flying in everywhere. It actually doesn't convert as well. So there are actually proven marketing layouts that we have that convert higher than websites that have all these fancy bells and whistles that don't actually convert. Animations can throw people off. The only time I have some sort of anything that's in your face is if it's a call to action, something where I want them to click the call button. Okay, so a lot of home service websites should maximize conversions, just keeping it very strategic with what you're putting on your website. So the things you do want to do. You want to have your contact information at the top, and anytime they scroll, you always want your contact information present. You want to make it easy for people to contact you. You want to do easy forms that people could actually submit. You want to make sure the buttons are working, that you are getting, this is very important, this is post website, that when someone submits a form on your website, you are getting a text, an email notification, or whoever the salesperson is or admin that can call that person as quickly as possible, speed to lead. But also, you want to make sure a message goes out, a text and an email goes out to that user, letting them know, next steps. So you want to have that quick contact point. You want to make sure you optimize your website for speed and for mobile devices. Like I said, we have a tool, Google PageSpeed Insights is a free tool you could use to actually tell us how your website's performing. Google loves fast websites and will recommend those websites most. So you want to see how your website, how the optimization is in terms of what Google sees, not what you see. And then you want to clearly outline the main services you offer. This is very important. Your navigational item needs to be very clear of what you offer, about you, what areas you do it for, and any relevant photos related to those services, tips, things like that. So when you have your main banner, right, with the call to actions and everything, you want to have that up top. And then you want to have what you do, where you do it, and then who you are. Okay, that's what you want to go ahead and have. That's the layout right there that you want to have, or a part of it. Your work is your product. So showcase previous projects, especially local landmarks that people in your community will recognize. Okay, you want to create that relationship. Okay, if you did a building that everyone in your town knows that building, you want to make sure that's on your website because people feel like, oh, I trust them immediately. Oh, they did that building? I know that building. Okay, let me contact them. Okay. And then you want to focus on a clean user experience. The website visitor should understand who you are, what you do, and what areas you operate in. So like I told you, you want to have the main area with the call to action, and then you want to have what you do, where you do it, and who you are, with call to actions throughout. That is very important. So the biggest thing I want you to know on this next slide here is your website. We all prioritize sales. Sales and marketing are the backbone of any business. Your website should be your virtual salesperson. It should set the appointments for you. 75% of customers judge a company's credibility based on their website design. And that's why this is so important. So I want to get some feedback from you guys on a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your current website? 10 being the best. What would you rate your website? 1 to 10, be honest. 8, David, 9. Other David, oh, so many are coming in. 9, 7, 7, 6, 8, 3. Ricardo, thank you for your honesty. Andre, 5. Polly, 8. Autumn, 0, which is why we're building a new one. Nancy, 7 to 8. We're revamping right now. David, 7.5. Okay, so that's how you guys see your website. But how does Google actually see your website as well? Right? So you might think in terms of you just invested into this website, in 2022, and it was built really well. But how does Google see it? So there's two parts of how I judge a website. Do you feel it communicates the message and the brand? And how does Google see your website? Those two both need to be synced up if you want to get results. Please do not spend a ton of money on your marketing and not have your website ready to convert. Chris, I'm sorry you feel like you're at a 0, but thank you for the honesty. There's actually something really, really exciting I want to announce right now. This is the first announcement we're going to make. We have decided to roll out a new program to help people with their website because we found the marketing campaigns with some of the best conversions had great websites. And so typically, if you've ever done business with us, you know that we used to charge, a flat rate for a website, as you can see, to build the website. And that kind of stumped people from being able to take their marketing to the next level. And I don't want that. I want to help. My mission is to help as many of you guys freaking dominate. So we launched this new website program where for only $3.99 a month, you're going to get all your hosting. You're going to get a brand new website. You're going to get a brand new website or a revamped website that follows the workflow I told you of how you can get conversions. It's going to have all the CTAs you need, all the contact forms, service pages. It's going to be set up for SEO, okay? You're going to be in the marketing mentorship with me as well, and we're going to get you set up with a website that will actually convert. So whether you're running social media, whether you're running Google Ads, no matter what you are running, your website is going to represent your brand and help you grow. So if anyone's interested in this website and you're like, hey, my website's at anything less than a 9 or a 10, or you're not sure, there's a link Kelly dropped. You could book a call with us to get this set up for your business. So it's never been easier for you to get a brand new website for especially we're coming into season here.
Yeah.
especially.
One thing I want to recommend too is just so you guys all know, if you book a call with our team, our goal is just to see how we can help you. Sometimes that's going to be through one of our programs, and sometimes that's just going to be through giving you some more access to our free resources to help you build up your business to a point where you can and will work with one of our programs. So don't be too afraid to book a call at whatever levels you're at. We're just here to provide value. We do these webinars twice a month. We always try to cover different topics that the industry is asking us for. And then on that one-on-one time, one of our members of our team will be happy to review your existing website. If you're not sure if you need a new one, we'll look through it. Sometimes we'll even recommend to you like, hey, no, what you have is great. Let's see how we can improve it even more, and go through some other like resources with you that can help you improve. So I highly recommend booking a call with our team. We can run through anything that we talked about today. We can review any of the manuals that you guys heard about that we have a lot of people on the call loving and using every day. We can review the website program. We can review the marketing manual. We're here to just provide a lot of value and help you get to that point where, you're going to be killing it, and we're going to be working together on growing your company even more.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for adding that, Kelly. That's an important part of this. We just want to help you guys. I from talking and working with so many contractors, the website has been such a pain point and focal point, and actually the downfall of a lot of people's results. Okay, they've not been getting the desired results, and we found that it came down to the website a lot of the time, the website or the brand. And so through the website, we're able to communicate your brand, your core values, your services, and actually do things to help get the consumer from just browsing and visiting to actually calling. And so we want you to have that good foundation to run any of your marketing, any of your social media. And we wanted to make it affordable for you to do it. We wanted to make it affordable for you to do it so you could spend your time and other resources on actually the advertising and the other organic ways you can grow your business that we went through. The process is so simple to get this new website. All right. We go through an onboarding with you guys. Someone asked, how does this work? It's very simple. We're going to go through an onboarding where we're going to spend time. You're going to spend some time filling out everything that's in your mind. You're going to spend filling out this onboarding that asks very strategic questions. And you're going to kind of get to choose and tell us which design styles you like that you feel represent your brand. From there, we're going to set up a meeting. So our team is actually going to meet with you to go over this onboarding, get your personalized, you and your team or whoever's doing, leading this project, get your feedback, talk about your main goals for the website. And based on the goals of that, we're going to go into the actual design. And our team is going to design the website around what your goals are with our proven layouts that we know work and convert and do well in the eyes of Google. And so we're going to design the homepage that represents your brand. We're going to send it to you guys. You're going to give us your feedback. Tell us what you like. If you want any edits, we're going to make those for you. And then we're going to go into develop. We're going to develop your website, build it out. Everything's going to work seamlessly. We're going to pull a Google report. Google's going to show you, we love your website. It's working perfectly. And then we're going to launch it. After you approve it, we're going to launch it. And you'll have a brand new website. And what I mean by this is now's the time to do your website, because we're going into a season where you can focus on building your business. Okay, we can focus on building your business so that when the season does come around, right? Because we're going into winter, when the season does come around, you're already ready. Okay, that's what this is all about. I don't ask for too much, but the one thing I would say is if you love this training, if you got any value from this training, if you learned anything that you feel could help your business, please just scan this QR code. It takes 1 minute to give us a review, leave a review for us. It really helps us out with these trainings so we can continue to help more contractors. So please just take 1 minute to do it. I know you guys all ask your customers and prospects for reviews on how your presentations went. We ask the same. If you love the training, please just take 1 minute to do that. That would be such a huge help, and we'd be really thankful for you to do that.
Yes. And before you guys judge us, this is a new listing we created. We usually do everything through Business 411. So when you open that up and see 3 Google reviews after we just told you how important getting a ton of reviews are, that's why we're promoting getting some more reviews on that channel for us, so that we have it set up. So please go ahead and leave us a review. I'll also put in the chat the link to Google and to our Facebook page. So if you want to just leave one on our Marketing 401 Facebook page, we'd appreciate that as well. And then also we're just going to do some QA. So I know we're over time now, but if there's anything that we didn't cover, anything you want us to do a deep dive on, the floor is yours. And Ariel will be happy to help with anything while we get that set up. Also, if you have questions about any of our programs, need a link to anything, go ahead. We're going to be here for a little while longer, or as long as we need to be, to make sure that we're providing you guys enough value. So please send in those questions. We're excited to deep dive into more things.
Yeah. And Marlon, thank you. I have the biggest smile on my face. This is one of the best, most insightful webinars I've attended. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is why we do this. We love helping you guys. It's a part of our mission and our purpose is to create educational value. So thank you so much for that feedback. I love it. I can't wait to see a lot of you guys at the next call as well. Now's the time if you have any questions. QR is sending me to Google page Marketing 401 Plantation not to give a review. Yeah, so you could just click the review. That's our Google page. We are actually in the process of just doing our launch for our marketing side. Everything's been under the Business 401 brand, and we're finally doing that new launch, as Kelly explained. So she just dropped the link to leave a review. I would really appreciate it. Everything I'm telling you guys, we also, we practice what we preach, right? That's a part of this. We're testing things out so you don't have to. But we do the same strategies for ourselves, and that's what's grown our business, from 1 team member to 5 to now I think we have over 25 team members full-time that work with us, that work for us to help, fulfill everything we're doing. So asking for reviews is really, really important. And something's funny is people ask all the time, how do I ask for reviews? Asking people and then walking away isn't really good enough. You need to kind of walk them through it. And that's why I'll stay on the call walking you guys through, like if anyone has questions on how to leave a review, because that's how you're actually going to get the review from the client. You can't leave and expect them to do it. You kind of got to, in a professional way, show them how to do it from their phone and make sure you get that review from every single job you do. It really, really adds up and helps you.
I want to give a shout out to, we have a couple more people that just signed up for the marketing manual. So shout out to Pedro's Roofing, A1 General Contracting, and Lab Roofing. Thank you guys so much.
Let's go. This is awesome. Thank you guys. You guys are making my whole day through this hurricane. I am having a blast with you guys. I am having a blast. I love teaching marketing. And if I get to see you in person, I am very excited. We'll get to meet in person at the class next week. And those of you who did get the manual, you will get access to the link for the webinar next week. After this call, you should also get a time to book with us, but we'll make sure you get that link to join. We will send it to you via email. You will get the link to join next week's marketing call. So don't worry about that. We're going to be talking about Google Ads next week. We're going to deep dive into Google Ads. That will be the sole topic of next week's masterclass. Rebecca, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. We appreciate it. What questions do you guys have? I want to know from you guys. Obviously, we're getting a lot of feedback. This has been really helpful. Cynthia, thank you so much for joining. What questions do you guys have? Now's the chance while we're on this call to ask any questions you have. Could be a little bit more personalized. I can answer questions about your website, what you need to know about what our programs look like, about what you need to do. I'm just here to help. Thank you, Haley. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. Shout out to you guys, everyone there's so many people still on this call right now. So I'm expecting some questions to come through here so we can hook you guys up with some answers to some burning questions you have about marketing. I know we touched on a lot. Like we got through so many different topics and I had to, in just a short amount of time, because there's so much we can talk about when it comes to marketing. Jason, is there a dollar amount I should be setting aside yearly for marketing and advertising? This is a really great question. So yes, there is, and we actually have it outlined in the book. But I'm gonna give you what it is. So the average amount that you should be spending on your marketing and advertising is between 5 to 15% of your gross revenue. Okay. And what we want is the average is about 10%, just to give you the exact. Okay. So you want to be spending about 10%. All right, let's see. Do we get the book in our email inbox? Yes, if you ordered the Contractors Marketing Playbook, our team is going to be processing that and we'll email it directly to you along with additional resources and setting up a call to go through it with you. So you'll get everything you need and you'll get access to next week's marketing mentorship. Yeah. Jason, really great question. That's something I put in almost every presentation. And if you have the book, we'll go into more detail as well about the amount you should be spending on your advertising. David, awesome. I'm ready to dive in. So I want to hear for people who are still, there's a lot of people still on this call. Oh, perfect. You received your book today around 12 p.m. I cannot wait for you to go through it. And you're going to be at the class. So I'm excited to meet you and talk about some marketing with you. What's the first thing you're going to implement? Anyone have anything they know right away that they want to implement for their marketing? What's the first action step you're going to take for your marketing? I know mine is posting more content and helping more business owners like you guys really getting a good foundation. All right, let's see. First thing Jason's going to do is read the book. I love it. I laid you up for that one. That was like a layup. You slam dunked it. Read the book. That will give you everything you need. The Contractors book will give you everything you need. Dan, set up Google profile. Yes, I love that. Great foundational item to set up your Google business profile or optimize it. If you haven't looked at your profile in a while, now's a good time to look back at your profile and say, okay, did I actually fill everything out? Is this information relevant? Are these links still working? I've seen people who have Google business profiles with phone numbers that don't even work. Imagine that. Rebecca is going to focus on research and posting. Okay, I love it. Yeah, you want to actually have a specific target in mind when you're posting. You don't want to just do a bunch of posts that have no purpose, no value, no meaning. So doing research to make sure, okay, is this actually what is going to gauge user engagement, or is this actually going to answer my target audience's questions, right? So doing posts around what is actually relevant. Posting to just post does not make sense. All right. David says he's focused on how much he's spending on marketing. 10% is average. Then we put that into different buckets. We keep 1% in reserve for when we find something that is winning and amping it up. Super cool. Yes. So I just want to touch on this is actually with advertising, when you see something's working, you review those results, you turn it up. And then when you see something's not working, you turn that one down and you focus on the winning campaigns. Okay, we do it all the time. If you've ever seen a Facebook ad, that's what our marketing manager, Tallis, does. He's amazing at being able to identify what's working, what's driving the most results, and letting us know what we need to double down on and what's not working. We run test campaigns all the time. We just did a messenger test campaign, to see what's working and what's not, so we could best use our marketing budget to the correct places. Okay, we have setting up Google business profile. Awesome. Fixing the website. Jason, yes, please fix your website. Please make sure it's working. Test the links. Have something that really represents your brand and does a good job at showing the quality your company produces. Do not skip that. Because if you're spending all this time and energy on postings, on LSA, on advertising, on SEO, you need your website to be top of the line. Okay, does your marketing spend, Mark asked, does your marketing spend include salaries for sales or marketing employees as well? That is a great question. You know what? I've given a lot of presentations about budgeting and no one I don't think has ever asked me that. And the answer is no. Marketing spend does not include the salaries for sales or marketing employees. If you have an outside marketing partner, like you're paying a service, that would count, but employees go under the employee bucket. And that's something you could, obviously an accountant can go through with you. I always ask our accountant, our P&L, we actually have it broken down. So we have the salaries in one, we have cost of goods in another, and then we actually have an expense in our P&L for marketing and advertising where it breaks down the different marketing and advertising spends. So you could ask an accountant to do that for you. But your marketing expense does not include salaries for sales or marketing. That is a separate line item. All right. Yeah. And David kind of put in there, if you're outsourcing, then it should be included. If it's internal, then that's an operation. So David, you and I are in sync there as well. Is it beneficial for roofing companies to implement digital marketing in-house? Really great question. So that's why I wanted to touch on the marketing partners. We actually have like a few pages or more dedicated to this in the marketing contractors playbook, because in the manual, because this is so important. When is the right time, and when is the right time to hire different people? When's the right time to bring it in-house? If you are under $1 million in revenue, David, that made me laugh. If you are under $1 million in revenue, then you do not want to have someone in house. You will not be able to afford that. It's really when you get to, in my opinion, when you're $3, $4, $5 million company is when you could explore the idea of having someone in house. But like I said, my thing with in house is you have to have the resources. Who's going to manage this person? Does that person understand marketing to be able to hold them accountable to hit certain metrics? If you don't understand marketing, it's kind of risky. And also, usually that person will have to hire out, and they're just managing the people they're hiring out, because usually one person cannot do everything. So if you're looking to implement an SEO strategy, an advertising strategy, a posting strategy, right, all these different things, usually one person cannot do it all. It's very rare. So I would say when you're reaching the 5 million mark is when you could explore bringing in like a CMO like myself, or a marketing, manager possibly, to help manage those, do some of it in-house and then outsource what they cannot do. But it really just depends as well on what the company infrastructure is. Now, what's really cool is I do get asked this question a lot, which is why I created the marketing mentorship program, because obviously a lot of people try to recruit me or hire me to help them. I'm not looking for a job right now. I'm pretty good right now, but I want to help you guys. So we created this marketing mentorship program where you can work with someone like myself. You'll work directly with me, and I can kind of help oversee some of the things you're doing and give you feedback. And anyone who bought the marketing manual is going to get access to that. They're going to get access to one of our calls next week, where you'll have full access to ask me more personalized questions, and I could help you make some marketing decisions, point you in the right direction. David, thank you. I appreciate that. David said, if you have winners like Kelly and Ariel, then it's worth the expense. I appreciate that. I agree. I agree. To find a winning CMO or COO such as Kelly, I mean, as an owner of a business, it sets you up. You will win with the right people on your team. Jason, I appreciate the shout out. Why not just use Marketing 401 and let them manage it all for you? That is the best answer. I'm happy to help you guys with your marketing. We could manage it all for you, and we could teach you. That's the biggest difference right now. A lot of companies just do it for you. They don't tell you what they're doing. We've added this educational component because we've seen the value it's had. So we work together as a true partner with you to make sure that our efforts are intertwined and they work together. So not only will we do the marketing for you, but we'll educate you. You'll get access to the marketing mentorship. You'll get access to resources that will help you as a leader or your leadership team be able to actually focus on the growth of the company, and we'll do the legwork. Our team will do the legwork for you. So that's what Marketing 401 is here for. We're here to help you with your marketing. We have programs that include everything we talked about on today's call, from the SEO side of things to the LSA. We actually have someone full-time. All they do is listen to your phone calls and mark them as disputes or won. It's full-time, that all they do is listen to phone calls all day long to see the quality of the leads. So these are things we do for you. We do the PPC. We have two amazing advertising specialists. All they do is look at your ads every single day. Every single day, that's all they look at is your ads and go through what works, what's not working, and they optimize your ads. Okay, so we have a great team that's prepared and ready to help you. I think our running joke is that we've ran ads in every single state, including Canada, which is not a state, but still, and Puerto Rico, besides Hawaii. So if you have anyone in Hawaii, I always say, please send them my way, because I've been dying to get a case study for Hawaii. The quote of the day. I don't know, David, are you ready to give a quote for the day? I have one. I have one, though. My quote for today is, And why you're all here is to grow. And what does growth mean to you? So my quote of the day is grow means get rid of old ways. Where you are now, you should be very proud, but it's not going to get you to where you want to be. And growth requires getting rid of things that do not no longer serve you as a person, as a business owner, and where your company's going. Things change, things evolve, and you need to be prepared to take your growth to the next level. And you can't get stuck. So get out of your own way. So David, that's my quote of the day. If you have one, please share it. I would love to, share the positivity. All right, let's see. We got some questions coming in here. Once the marketing starts working well, does Business 401 have ideas for recruiting more project managers for all the new leads marketing that come in from marketing services? Yeah, so that's something that we do really well in our SOPs in our class. My business partner, Liz, actually breaks this down for you guys step by step. She has a hierarchy depending on how you're going to grow. We have 3 different models of growth, okay? And she's going to show you who you need to hire and when. Who you need to hire and when. So that's something she outlines in the SOP because that is an important part of growth, making sure you have the right team in place to actually fulfill the growth you have. So that is something we do go through. Do we get a physical copy of the marketing playbook as well, or just the PDF? I was looking out my window expecting the UPS guy to come drop it off. That is awesome. So you can print copies with us, or you can print copies with us. We can get you some physicals, but what you're getting is the digital copy that you can use, take anywhere you are, and then you could always choose to print physical copies and get that UPS guy come in to drop them off. But what you're getting right now is the digital. If you want printed copies, you could just connect with our team and we can get those out for you. Usually we'll print like 10 at a time, so you could share them with team members, and as you grow, you could share them. Let's see. Yeah, our process does help you with growth and to sustain that growth. Oh, Kelly did answer your questions in the chat. All right. Super cool. I think I got to everyone's questions here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. If you haven't, please scan the QR code, leave us a review. It means the world to us. If you think of any questions after this call, or you want a personalized conversation about your marketing and to talk about your website, your SEO, or anything going on in your specific company, all you got to do is book that call. We're just going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about, you and what your goals are and see if there's anything that we recommend that could help you. We're always built on relationships. So I just want to thank you guys. Amazing. There's so many people still on the call, and it's been like over 2 hours. And I'm just really grateful. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in, engaging, and I'm just honestly lucky to have the opportunity to help you and serve you. And thank you guys for making my day and while I'm stuck in here from the hurricane, making it better. This has made my day. And thank you to everyone who got the contractor's manual. I will see you guys all next week on our Google Ads call. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.